Hello everyone, I am Erika of BEADINGSCHOOL.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika. Today I'm going to give you an overview of Preciosa components, Preciosa crystals set into metal. During the Sweet Margaretha Beading School Academy theme, we started to play with a new type of Preciosa crystal in a metal component, a Preciosa ball. And I would like to talk today about the possibilities, how you can incorporate it in your beadwork, and of course, how it fits into the big family of Preciosa crystals in metal claw settings. But before I would start, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me well. I see Ginny, Judith, Belinda, Kim, and Robin already watching. I hope that everyone stays safe during the crazy snowy weather over the weekend. And everyone is excited to learn more about the Preciosa in metal components. I see also Linda, and she says that she can hear me and see me well on Facebook. So you can watch this video live on the Beading School YouTube channel and also on the Beading School Facebook page. And then the recordings stay online, so you can watch it again if you would like to. But the best is, of course, if we can do it together. I would also like to greet Lutka, Ingrid, Antoinette. Lita says, hello, Erika, and all my lovely beady sparkly friends here on Facebook. I can see Katja, Sherry, Jen, Carol, Cosima, Susan, Violetta, Yosin, Hannah, Amanda, Bernadette, Gemma, Marlo. Oh, and Marlo says, hello, Erika and all lovely beaders. I must tell you that I really enjoy the music to our new theme box. It takes me away every time I hear it. So nice to learn that, Marlo. I also see Jessica, Nancy, and Sabine. If you haven't heard your name, then it's because maybe you have like an abbreviation on YouTube that I don't, and then I don't know based on your username that what's your name. But I also saw some other beaders, so I would like to greet warmly everyone today. And ladies, today such a big thing happened, and I'm very excited about it. And for the beginning, I wanted to share with you the good news. It is truly a dream coming true, and it has happened so fast somehow. And on that picture next to me talking, you can see Foxy actually and me, and Foxy already brought with himself a beading school notebook and his favorite beading school art cabochon with a key to a special place. So today a new chapter has started. And does anyone want to guess that what is happening? It's a dream coming true for me. And it is actually something that I have been talking about 2 years ago, but then as life took all kinds of different turns, then it was not the right timing, but now it is finally. And it includes also lots of other creative people and lots of new possibilities. Does anyone have an idea? Linda says it's exciting. Indeed. I will show you a little video and then maybe you will have a better guess. So Linda is asking a new collaboration with a new designer. Susan is asking a retreat. Linda says a bead fest. Sabine asks, perhaps you have a place where you do workshops. So ladies, thank you for trying. I have to say, no one got the right answer for now. Sabine is the closest. Judith has it. You have a studio. Indeed. So after 10 years of working from my home, today I got the keys to a beautiful atelier in an artist incubator, 7 floors filled with creatives and artists, and I will have my own little atelier there. So I'm so excited for this new chapter. On one hand, it will tremendously help with my mental well-being, as I can better separate my beady time and the rest of my life. And also, I am so looking forward to it, to spend my days with other creatives, everyone having her own atelier. And then there is a little common room, community room on every floor. We can have coffee together. Everyone is organizing events for the whole community there. So I think it will be so inspiring and recharging to be part of this amazing collective that I somehow still can't like comprehend that this has happened so fast. I just checked out the room a week ago on Monday. I had to write a project, so I submitted it on Thursday in the late afternoon, an hour before no one has to be alone, and by Friday noon I got the answer that they selected me as a new artist in the community. And thank you so much, everyone, for sharing my happiness over this. Kim says, this is wonderful. It is definitely a part of your future path. I just know there is so much in store for you with this. And you know, Kim, it just feels so natural as the next step. It just clicked as the next piece of the puzzle, and I can't wait to show you more. For now it's completely empty, but by coincidence, imagine that Andrea has just arrived today to Amsterdam. She's on her way from the airport actually here because she's bringing something that I will also absolutely have to show you. So tomorrow we will start our day together visiting the little atelier, the Amsterdam atelier of Beading School. So thank you so much, ladies, for sharing my happiness and I'm just so touched by this new chapter. Thank you for being here with me. But there are also other nice things that I wanted to share with you, of course. So last week, I wanted to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you who keeps trusting us with your sparkly bead orders. So I told you that everyone who places an order requiring shipping from coffee time to coffee time, no matter the volume, will receive 2 beautiful gifts. So one of the gifts was a little sparkly something that my dear Beading School colleagues have slipped into your packages, or are slipping into your packages. And the other gift was, I told you that the tutorial itself is so well worth it, because it is 36 pages of beady knowledge, very intense beady knowledge, by actually, I didn't tell you who it was. So it was Giuliana from Italy. And this is the bracelet, the beautiful tutorial that everyone who placed an order requiring shipping will receive tomorrow as a gift. I hope that you like it as much as I do. All the little details and all the intricate layers, they make me very excited. Everything that you need for these motifs, you can also make, by the way, earrings or a pendant from these motifs, is included in your Mata Hari Sweet Margaretha Beading School Academy theme box, except the tile beads. Those you need from your own stash or from the Beading School bead shop, of course. And tomorrow, my colleague Bela will be the one who will send you the tutorial. So it will be actually his first time doing it on his own without Melinda. So this is an extra moment. So Lita is asking, will you be broadcasting from your atelier? That would be so cool. Absolutely, Lita. Everything will move to the atelier. And I am thinking of actually having, it's not that big, it's 15 square meters, but I'm already so excited, setting up a separate table for beading, a separate table for my computer where I will be broadcasting, and a separate table for photo shoots. And it will be amazing that I will not be cramped in. At the moment, I have about, I don't know, like 4 square meters in the corner of my living room. So this will be amazing. So I hope that you like the tutorial. Jen says it's really beautiful. I tried to resist, but in the end I couldn't. I'm so glad. Well, thank you so much, Jen and everyone. I think it was a really good choice to go for it. But now let's get back to the educational story, educational part of today's Coffee Time with Erika, because there are so many different components that we can use. We know from Preciosa, where the crystals are combined with metal settings, all different kinds of metal settings. And from time to time, especially like as when it happens like now, that we get to know something new, it's nice to see how it fits into the whole family of the components. So that's why I prepared for you an overview of Preciosa crystals in metal claw settings, looking into the whole family. And I will be back in a moment. I know who it is. Just a moment. Okay, my flatmate is opening the door, so that's all right. So, so lovely ladies, let's get to the overview. So when it comes to Preciosa crystals in metal settings, then we have 2 big groups of the Preciosa crystals. One of them is when there is only one single stone set into a metal claw setting, or there can also be components where we have multiple stones set into a metal claw component. And I will now take a break to hug Andrea.
Happy new here.
We will call it Beading School Amsterdam Atelier. What do you think?
Amazing, amazing. Okay, I'm not gonna interrupt much. I just did bring some surprises.
surprises.
I think you didn't say anything yet,
I
right?
just said that you are bringing something that I will have to show.
Cool. Enjoy, ladies.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
See you.
So unfortunately on this plane was very late today, so we couldn't go for our usual coffee catch up before coffee time, but she just absolutely had to drop something, and I will leave it here. She also kindly brought a little bottle of champagne that we might open tomorrow when we visit the atelier. And yeah, back to education, back to BD education. We are here to learn after all, right? So back to Preciosa crystals in metal settings. The two big groups of them are when we have one crystal in a metal kind of setting of all shape type, or when there are multiple stones in one. And first, we will look into this first category when there is a single stone in a setting. So let's start with the Preciosa fancy stones. These are the beautiful, beautiful crystals of all kinds of shapes and sizes that either come on their own or they come already in a metal claw setting, what we know also from the glass cabochon category, with two pairs of holes running parallel to each other. Usually these metal claw settings are a little bit higher, so you need either bigger beads to clutch the fancy stone in setting, or you need to build up at least two, or with bigger sizes, sometimes even 3 rows of seed beads on top of each other. And the first one that we started to play with already last year are the navets. And we had this beautiful, elegant, slim navets during the towards the for a moment I'm like, fly me to the moon. No, towards the lighthouse theme in the emerge pendants. The navets, they can be used on their own, multiple of them in one piece. You can place them towards the middle, like in the emerge that I designed, or also you can keep them towards this side, like Veronica did in the direction pendant. We also had a bigger size later, and I have to say that this bigger size, this might have been the toughest challenge for all of our friends designers so far to come up with a beautiful design for it. All of us immediately, as we saw it for the first time, we wanted to play with it. However, due to the thickness of the claw, it was not easy. Multiple of us tried. Some of us failed. I do not have a finished design with this one. There are beautiful, beautiful pieces, but then when I felt like this is it, this is like finally really someone gripping it with the details and attention and precision and inspiration, what this beautiful stone deserves. This was the Elysian Light by Zuzi. And this tutorial actually is available on the Beading School in the Beading School bead shop as a gift tutorial, because Susie created it for International Beading Week. So if you don't have it yet, then make sure to download it. And ladies, I know that you were very enthusiastic also about the smaller slim nuggets and also about this big one. So I am very curious that in the end, now that we had multiple designs with the small ones, multiple designs with the big ones, do you have a preference? Do you like the smaller ones or the bigger ones, rather? And I'm curious that if you do have a preference, then why? I do have a preference, and I will tell you while I am waiting for your answers. So in my case, I really liked the smaller ones. I found it a lot easier to incorporate them in a design, also due to the height of the metal claw setting. And I really liked it that I could use multiple of them in one pendant. Miriam says that she also likes the smaller ones because they are more versatile. Linda also likes the smaller ones. Ginny likes both of them. Ha! Sharon, I love your answer. Sharon likes it when there are both of them in the design. And actually, Susie's Elysian Light, it has both of them. Chantal likes the small ones. Just as Tina, she says because they look nicer and more delicate. Katja is also voting for the smaller ones. Terry says, I love the slim nuggets. They just fit so well in many designs and they add elegance but are not overpowering. And indeed, because this is one of the classic shapes how gemstones are also cut, so these are super elegant indeed. Then we have also been playing with the pear-shaped fancy stones in metal claw settings. And during last year in the summer, I created the Soul bead embroidery pendant. And when I'm thinking about it, it might have been one of my favorite bead embroidery pendants. It is layered. It has the fancy stones, it has a beading school art cabochon, even chaton montes, lots of bicones, lots of playing with the texture of the seed beads, and then lots of sparkle thanks to those little pears. We also have a Susie design with the little pears. And here she used them in the Eternal Bloom pendant. This is Susie's debut as one of the designers during the exclusive kits during the Beading School Advent Adventure. And she did so incredibly well. It has become one of the most popular designs. And this pendant, it is available only during the Beading School Advent Adventure. So if you don't have it yet, if you haven't ordered it last year, then you can already sign up for the Advent Adventure in 2026 and maybe grab one when again it becomes available. I will paste the link here. I also used the little pears in the embrace pendant, which has been a live design tutorial. Then there is another shape that we got to know during the Everlasting Kiss Beading School Academy theme, and it was the Preciosa Fancy Baguette. And Juliana, she created a set called Alchemy of Love, and she used the little Preciosa Fancy Baguettes as connectors here, 2 of them actually per earring. And I find it really nice, and it is a good example how you can add more sparkle into the details of your jewels. And since the baguettes are here not further decorated, but they solely have a connecting function, then you can imagine that it would also be possible to swap them, for example, for the slim nuggets. And you can do this also between beaded motifs when you are creating a bracelet. Maybe just a single slim nugget or Preciosa fancy baguette does the job. So they don't have to go to the middle. They don't have to be part of the beaded motifs themselves, but they can also function as a connector, like in Juliana's earrings. We have another example for them when they are part of the design, and this is Belvedere by Laura. Then we got to know another shape now during the Sweet Margaretha theme, and it is the tiny oval. And in this case, I'm showing you the Walking the Labyrinth by Ruxandra, which is the first signature jewel of the Sweet Margaretha collection. So each and every one of you who are Beading School Academy students can bead this beautiful pendant by Ruxandra. Next week's No One Has to Bead Alone, Menari by me, it also features a fancy oval. And in this case, I really liked it that it's so tiny that despite the small size of the motif, I can use multiple of the fancy ovals. So I added 2 of them. So ladies, now I am again curious. Out of the nuggets, the pears, the baguettes, and the ovals, do you have a preference of the shape when it comes to fancy stones? And Chantal says in the meantime, love the Eternal Bloom design. I am waiting for my kit. Sabine says, I just finished this, love the small settings. And Beatrix says, the little pears are my absolute favorites. Love them. Miriam says, the slim nuggets. Indeed, they are so very elegant. I think I can't make a decision in this case. With the size of the slim nuggets, I had a very clear preference. But when it comes to the shape of these tinies, then I can't make a decision. Sharon says she likes the slim nuggets and the pears. Both of them very elegant. Susan says, I love them all. It's all about the sparkle. Love your answer, Susan. And now let's see another category in between the single stones in settings. And these are the chaton montés. So while the fancy stones, they had a metal claw setting with 2 pairs of holes running parallel, then the chaton montés, they can be used in a different way. The claw setting, it's also pierced 4 times as with the fancy stones. However, thanks to the shape of the component, it's very easy to crisscross in any way between the 4 holes. So this is when I like to use when I am teaching the No One Has to Bead Alone workshops, like make a short crossing through 2 neighboring holes, or make a long crossing through between 2 holes opposite of each other. So with the other fancy stones, it's usually not possible, though sometimes you can make it. But with the chaton montés, where we have a tiny chaton, and we have them in different sizes, 4 and 6 millimeter. then it is very easy to accomplish. By the way, I would also like to invite you ladies to say hi to my newish colleague Sophie. Newish because it will be soon a year that she's with us. However, she is between the newer additions to the Beading School team. And Sophie says, "Hi, Erika and ladies, so nice to be here. I love all the Preciosa shapes and can't wait to bead my first jewel. I think I would like to use the pairs." Lady Sophie is the one responsible for taking pictures and videos for you these days. And she's also in charge of the Beading School Instagram channel. So probably you have already seen the results of her beautiful work. So I am now showing you as an example Zuzi's mirror. For the Preciosa Chaton Montes, she used the smaller 4mm size here. And just a fun fact, she was actually sitting next to me in one of my favorite cafes here in Amsterdam when she designed this. Then you might remember another live design session. And this was during the Fly Me to the Moon Beading School Academy theme. And this design is called the Starborn. I really wanted to use the little sparkly star in the middle. And then I added a bunch of Chaton Montes in the same size, 4mm, but in 2 different colors. And then I added wax hollows and bicons. And my love continued during this theme for the Chaton Montes because I also beaded the full moon pendant with this Beading School art cabochon back then. And when I am talking about a Chaton Monte during a No One Has to Bead Alone class, then I always like to point out that there are components which are similar. However, we need to be careful when we reach into our stashes when using this, because they look similar or indeed the same from the top. However, the back sides are very different. So I am talking, of course, about the Preciosa Swan rhinestones. So while the Chaton Montes, they have a pointy, the Chatons have a pointy back. So the metal claw setting is higher, and we can cross the claw setting between any 2 holes parallel or opposite of each other, close to each other or opposite of each other. The last part of the single stone setting family is the Swan rhinestone, where the rhinestone has a flat back. So also the metal claw setting is completely flat, and there are 2 holes running in a cross shape. So we can't cross in any way, just through the opposite holes. And I love using these because they are perfect as a tiny, easy, sparkly addition in the middle of a beaded motif, for example. So that's what I did with the Bahja motif during the Spice Bazaar Beading School Academy theme, for example. So it also became very handy because when I joined the 6 pieces of the Gem Duo beads, then there was a tiny hole in the middle, and it's very easy to hide these kinds of tiny holes by adding a Preciosa Swan rhinestone in the middle. And Lita says, these are my absolute favorites, the most useful shinies. Oh, and Sabine says, some time ago I was searching for Chaton Montes, so I found Beading School, the best place to get extraordinary items. Dear Sabine, I'm so happy that you found us and that you find the material that we bring you inspiring. Chantal likes both the Montes and the Swans. And Ingrid says Barja was my favorite. And another way of using them, also as a decoration, is how you see them in Heather Kingsley Heath Dancing with Candlelight set. So she attached them in the corners, and she brings in so much sparkle into the tiny beaded motifs thanks to this. I really love it that always the color of the focal in the middle differs from the sparkly rhinestones in the corners. So it is so joyful. And then we have here the Ingrid, hi Ingrid, Ingrid bracelet that I designed for the Great British Bead Show a few years ago. And here the majority of the motif itself is made up from the 6mm Preciosa Suwon rhinestones. And then I attached a smaller one in the middle. So there are 2 layers, 2 sizes of Suwon rhinestones in the Ingrid bracelet. And now the last category between the single stones are the crystal connectors. We had these in our boxes during the Dolce Vita Beading School Academy theme. And while it's also super easy to just attach them in between beaded motifs, there was also one where I used the crystal connector in the motif itself. So this is the Soldanella, and the crystal connector is part of the motif. However, where I find it also very helpful, that sometimes you get into a situation where only a tiny bit is missing to create the perfect length of a bracelet. So then in that case, you can just add a tiny crystal connector to the very end, matching the color of your beads and other components. And then you don't have to be, because sometimes like one extra beaded motif would be too much, but without a little extension, it's too little. So then you can solve it with a crystal connector. But now, also another idea. So some of the Preciosa crystals, they do not come in the metal claw settings. However, you can also attach them. Usually we have metal claw settings fit for them. So even if you pick up, for example, a bigger pear or oval, which does not have a metal claw setting yet, then look around in the Beading School bead shop and you will very probably find a fitting metal claw setting. That's how Ruxandra created the Baroque mirror, for example. I loved this so much. This is like, despite the smaller size, this was one of my absolute favorites from Ruxandra. Then it is also how Vicky beaded the Promise pendant with the Preciosa fancy baguettes, which are set already into the claw settings. But then the octagon, it comes without the claw setting, but you can easily attach it into one of the claw settings. Also, this is the case with Emily Louise by Ruxandra. And you can do the same also with round shapes. So the Fiesta necklace, that is a beader's calendar jewel created by Susie. It features Preciosa rivolis. And there you can also attach the Preciosa rivoli into a separate metal claw setting. And now we finally reached the part of the family where we start to talk about components where we have multiple stones set in metal, in a single metal claw setting. And first of all, rhinestone chains. Those are actually the ones from this part of the family that we first started to play with a few years ago. It was still a little bit of an egoistic order from me that I really wanted to have rhinestone chains in all kinds of opal and AB and fancy colors. But on my own, I just couldn't make that order happen. And the rhinestone chains kind of brought the bead shop of first the storytelling jeweler and later the beading school alive, because suddenly I had like 150 kilograms of rhinestone chains, and to make it happen, I needed your help. And you also loved them. So that's what started the bead shop. And how you can use the rhinestone chains in your creations. You can easily hang them below your beaded motifs. So you can create a little piece of peyote, for example, where you can attach the rhinestone chains. Or we also have cup chain holders available in the Beading School bead shop, where you can attach the last rhinestone into and then hang it easily from the bottom. I love, love, love using these in my bead embroidery, and I can't stop encouraging you to do the same. And that's what I did with the Traveler series, of course. Susie here also hanged the cup chain below the pendant, also incorporated it in the Aztec Sun pendant. But as you can see, you can also combine it with ball chains, for example. Then another category are the rondelles. Ginny says in the meantime, by the way, that she loves them in bead embroidery. Me too, and I can't decide how I love them more, pushed together, the rhinestones, or apart, but, or even better, more colors of cup chain and more sizes of cup chain together, and then doing it this way and that way too. And multiple stones in settings, the next one in the family are the rondelles. And what you see on the picture now is the bonum ventis that I designed for last year's Advent Adventure. And I used plenty of the rondelles in the pendant. To be precise, 16 pieces in one pendant. These were newish back then, so I was super excited to use them, and I had to incorporate as many independent as possible. So they are a little bit like creating a three-dimensional effect, and they bring so much sparkle in a tiny place that I think it's very worth it to get a little bit of practice for using them. The same goes for the 7 circles of water. It actually has Preciosa rondelles and also Suwon rhinestones independent, and it just makes it so sparkly that you really need to take a closer look to see what's happening there. Sharon says that I have just finished this design and absolutely loved it. I'm so happy to hear that, Sharon. And Antoinette says, this is a difficult one for me. Dear Antoinette, if you encounter any problems, if you have any questions, please keep asking your questions and bring your ideas to the table in the Beading School Club. We are there to brainstorm together. And finally, we got to the Preciosa balls, which are also multiple Preciosa crystals in a metal claw setting that we have just started to play with now during the Sweet Margaretha Beading School Academy theme box. By now, I think you have a pretty good idea what did Andy bring me just now. But first, let's look into it, that so far, what kind of designs did we see with the Preciosa balls? So the Preciosa balls, they are again 3D objects where the full surface of a round-shaped object is covered by the crystals themselves. And ladies, whenever it comes, by the way, to crystals set in metal claw settings, especially the 3D ones, like the Preciosa balls, then please note that many times, most of the times, those crystals are set into the components one by one, by tweezers, by a single person sitting there, and or like, of course, multiple people sitting there and creating these Preciosa balls for you. So when you unpack your Preciosa balls and you hold them dearly on your bead mat, then remember that there was a person who made sure that they fit nicely, that they stay nice and flat. So there is actual handicraft behind these Preciosa balls. Lita says, I call them bling balls. I love the idea, dear Lita. Can I use the bling balls? So here we had it in the Bujukan that I designed. This is going to be, by the way, the second signature jewel of the Sweet Margaretha collection. And we will also have one called Dropping Secret by Ruxandra, where she used it at the bottom. So as you see, you can use the Preciosa bling balls in multiple ways. So you can hang a single bead, as Ruxandra did, in the bottom, and just create a different look than if you've had a pendant, for example. You can also use it as a connector between beaded elements. For example, imagine two square-shaped elements and then joined with two beaded balls, bling balls. You can also use them as focals. You can build beaded beads with them. You can incorporate them into the designs themselves, as I did with the Bujukan on the previous example. So there are many different possibilities. So, lovely ladies, do you think there is a need for more colors of the Preciosa fancy balls? What do you say? And do we also need them in a gold colored and a silver colored setting? Chantal says, in the meantime, love the Dropping Secret design. I can't hardly wait to bead it. My opinion is that we absolutely need, Linda shares my opinion, the fancy Preciosa bling balls in more colors. So I am very grateful to Andy that she delivered these two beautiful fuchsia colored boxes, and let's see what's inside them. So please give me a moment while I will switch to my hand camera, Marlo, and everyone can listen to the music in the meantime, and I will be back in a moment. Ah, you didn't hear me talking yet. So Helena says, I need amethyst opal in gold setting, please. And Ginny says, of course there is a need for all this. Love how Ruxandra incorporates the peyote in her designs. And Learning says, yes, we need more colors. And Sherry says, absolutely yes. And Sharon is longing for gold settings. And Chantal says, yes, more bling beads. So let's see, what do we have here? And I hope to fulfill Helena's wish with the amethyst opal. So let's see the sun box first. By the way, I have a feeling that if you would like to grab a Preciosa Ball bundle and go for the bundle, I will explain you why. Trust me. Then it is already available and waiting for you. I will also post the link here. By the way, how I explained that they are so insanely time and energy confusing to create, it takes us a very long time. We actually already wanted this a few months ago, but we had to postpone it because it took such a long time to create them. So let's see what's inside. So when they are gone, again, unfortunately, it will take a longer time until we will get them again. So we have these so-called dangerous fusion boxes where we collect usually Preciosa, but also other kinds of components, where from one type we include several different, sometimes different sizes, sometimes different colors, and then we bring you the collection, the dangerous fusion box, for a lot better price than if you have bought everything one by one in the bead shop. It helps us a lot to focus, to pack it. So that's why we can then provide you such great discounts. And when there are lots of components from one type, then sometimes we introduce sun and moon boxes for warm tones and cold tones. So now I would like to show you the sun box from the Preciosa Fancy Balls containing the warm tones. So let's see what's inside. So many little bags. And it says the bundle contains 40 pieces of 6mm Preciosa Fancy Balls in sun colors and 40 pieces of 6mm Preciosa Fancy Balls in moon colors. And there are 4 pieces of one color in one bag, so 10 different colors in each of them. And Helena, you will not believe it, but the first one that I picked up, it is the amethyst opal in a gold colored setting, and this is such a coincidence. So indeed, I have here amethyst opal in gold setting. Sharon says, wish they were either all silver or gold instead of the mix of both, as I rarely use silver. I understand, dear Sharon. At a point, we had to make a decision, and we went with the warm and the cold tones. And I'm sorry about that. Like, unfortunately, it is not in our capacity to make both of them come true. Michaela says, already bought it. Thank you so much, Michaela. So these are the amethyst opal in gold. Beautiful. Then I have here cyan in gold. Someone is happy about the amethyst in gold. So this is a dark red color. Like Oh, it matches my new nails. Such an elegant one, such a passionate one. Then I have here also tanzanite, this time in a silver colored setting. Beautiful and sparkly. This would also match the Sweet Margaretha theme. Then I have here cyan again, but in a silver colored setting. Ladies, out of curiosity, I checked what's happening in the beading school bead shop. Thank you so much. I'm really wondering if there will be any of the boxes left by the end of this video. There are only 20 left, it seems. 20 from the moon box and 20 from the sun box. No kidding. So don't hesitate long. So this is cyan in silver. Then we have here fuchsia in a gold colored setting. And like each box can contain different colors. It's always like sun or always the warm tones or the cold tones, but it's not 100% that there will be exactly these colors, but there might be another ones. Now I have here the fuchsia in gold, also very lush. Then this is such a nice one, topaz with gold colored setting. It looks like melted honey in my opinion. Then this is amethyst with silver colored setting. Then rose with gold colored setting. And then topaz in silver. $15 left, 15 moon boxes and 15 sun boxes. And then a very cute one, rose opal in silver. So these were in my sun box. It might happen that, for example, you have the rose opal in gold, you have the rose in silver, so it might differ in your case. If you don't want to go for some reason for a full box, then it is also possible at the moment to pick these up one by one, but then in that case, of course, the full price is applicable. But if you want to make sure that you have a specific color, then you can go for this. And let's see now what's inside the moon box with the cold colors. Again, 10 bags, each of them 4 pieces. And I start with emerald in silver colored settings. Ladies, thank you so much for loving these. So these are the emerald ones in silver. Antoinette says, I could never just get one of the boxes. They would miss each other is a problem I have. And that is so cute to say it this way, Antoinette. They belong together. I have here light sapphire with silver also. A classic one. If Andy could have stayed, we could have already persuaded her to order some more of the boxes. I have a feeling that we will need more. Then I have here Montana in silver. Okay, 12 boxes of each left, ladies. Only 12. So this is Montana, a dark blue, night sky colored crystal in silver. Then the same one, Montana in gold. So this is next to each other. I wanted to show you the silver and the gold setting. It makes such a difference. And by the way, ladies, these pictures that you see, they are also the work of Sophie. I think she can be so proud of herself. She just started to learn to take professional pictures a few months ago, I think in October. Mona, or professional photographer, was teaching her. And already Sophie has developed such a sense and skill set. I have here black diamond in silver. Chrysolite in silver. 10 left, ladies. For me, the chrysolite really fits the silver setting, for example, but some colors, indeed, I have a preference of the gold. So it's very personal. But, you know, ladies, if you would have to create like so many variations, then unfortunately we would not be able to offer you the prices of the fuchsia boxes like we do now. This is chrysolite in gold. Miriam also, thank you everyone who went for it. I am really grateful. Then I have here some of my favorites in the end. Blue zircon in gold. These are so nice. Angelina says, shall we do the 10-0 countdown? I think it's a good idea. Oh! Let's see. I'm opening the last orders that came through. In that last one, we have the balls one by one. So I have to check again. But in the previous one, 8. 8 moon, 8 sun left. And now I have here Aqua Bohemica in gold. Dear Amanda, if there is a glitch, then please email the treasury. If there is a mistake, then you will get a refund or a coupon for it. But unfortunately, I can't fix it while I am doing the video. But thank you for bringing it up. But if you want the balls, then please go for them because there won't be any left in a few minutes, I'm afraid. In the meantime, Miriam says, "Hello, dear beading lovelies. I am so happy. Finally, I got my advent haul and my box. It was very heavy to carry. Everything is beautiful and lovely. Thank you. My hubby is very happy for me, but the only thing he don't understand why I need a mug from a bead store." Dear Miriam, please tell him that each one of us is drinking from the same mug now, and it just feels so good. And I will carry my beading school mugs tomorrow to my new atelier. So I will show you a picture. Oh, one of the first things I have to do there is to make coffee, of course. And then one of my very favorites for the end, sapphire opal, light sapphire opal in a gold colored setting. So lovelies, did you have a favorite color from these? 8 boxes left in the meantime from both of them. Caroline asks, how big are the holes, please? Can you pearl knot or put on head pins, or do you need to add seeds or something around them? I'm trying to show you. So this is how the hole looks like. So when you use a pin, let me grab one. I'm trying to find one quickly. I hope I succeed. Okay, I don't have pins here. I'm rearranging everything, so it is a bit messy, but I will show it with the pin part of an earring, that when I put it through, then it fits tightly. I would say I don't need a seed bead here, but with knotting, that's another question. I do not do bead knotting, so I don't have a feel for it, unfortunately. But the hole is not like terribly big. Terry is asking, dear Erika, do you know if there are still advent boxes going on? Unfortunately, still, yes, dear Terry. They are still going out. Don't be afraid of topping them up with the Preciosa Ball boxes, because they are so easy to pack, thanks to just grabbing the 2 boxes. But indeed, there are still boxes traveling. Oh, and Miriam says, I should have ordered one mug for my hubby too as well. He got one with a classic car. Who needs this? He would then understand. And Miriam says, and Sharon says, always fuchsia in gold. That is such a nice, passionate combination, dear Sharon. Terry likes blues and greens. Hannah likes purple. Then Hannah must be very happy now with the collection. Sherry says blue zircon in gold. Caroline says, perfect, thanks so much. And Carol's advent beads are traveling through the snowstorm. And lovelies, we are down to 5 from the boxes. So very shortly you will be able to grab the balls only one by one, and that means a higher price. But anyway, oh wow, so beautiful next to each other. I'm trying to move them through my camera so you see them again without mixing them up. So this was the overview, but now I would like to switch back, and I actually want to tell you that those lucky beaders who get the ball boxes, what are the 2 limited time gifts that they get on top of it. So I will be back with you in a moment. Enjoy listening to the music. Oh, well, I love handstands. This is not a handstand. I need to flip myself. Okay, all is good now. Oh, and I will need to do a handstand tomorrow in the atelier for sure. So we never leave you without gifts. We are really, really grateful for your generous sparkly bead orders. So I would like to tell you about 2 gifts that you receive now with the Preciosa Ball box bundles. So already if you go for one box or another, it's great because you get a much better price. But if you go for the bundle, there are 2 gifts included. One of them is Vicky's tutorial that you see on the picture, the one so many of you liked because of the different artifacts belonging to Mata Hari that she hanged at the bottom. And this is the gift that stays, and in the future, if we will have the ball boxes again, then you will always receive this tutorial as a gift with the bundle. But I wanted to say that until next week's Coffee Time with Erika, but I'm afraid it will not manifest until next week's Coffee Time with Erika, but until stock lasts, which might be only a few minutes, there will be another tutorial that comes together with your box. And it's called Dans Amethyst, and it's designed by Giuliana Vertelli. So there at the top, she also used the Preciosa balls in that smaller motif. And then there is the big part with the hand-pressed cabochon. And you can use these 2 motifs together or separately. But what's important about it? That 2 bundles left, ladies. What's important about it is that for a limited time, for 1 week or until stock lasts, then if you go for the bundle, then you will receive both tutorials as gifts. And the next week during Coffee Time with Erika, we will remove this second tutorial from the offer. And lovely ladies, do you have now questions about the balls, the boxes, about anything that comes to your mind? Elaine, hi Elaine, she asks, will there be other colors in the 10mm balls? A little bit later, dear Elaine. Production is, as I said, unfortunately very slow with everything that is crystal in a metal claw setting. Preciosa crystal in a metal claw setting. So the 10mm ones, they will come later during the year for you. And Antoinette says, great broadcast. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for loving it, dear Antoinette. And oh, Miriam says, this is wonderful. The tutorials are so beautiful indeed. I am really a big fan of the hand-pressed cabochons, so I am so great that you can make your choice, or you can go for multiple ways of using them, and then also building up the beaded motifs, including the fancy stones and so many different components. So lovely ladies, thank you so much again for your enthusiasm. Like, this was mind-blowing. Let's see if the boxes will be gone before I would say goodbye. I would love to see that. If you are hesitating, go for it, because there are only 2 bundles left. And then I can say, like, we had a sold-out bundle before I would say goodbye. 2 bundles left. So let's see. I will now start the music, and maybe by the time it ends, then the bundles will be gone. Lovely ladies, thank you so much for everything. And I can't wait to show you more from my atelier, from my new Beading School Amsterdam atelier, and can't wait to show you how it comes together. And I'm also so grateful that you greeted so warmly Sophie and also Andy when they popped in. Andy in real life, and then Sophie saying hi through a comment. And I can't wait also to see how you will use the balls in your own designs, because they are inspiring. Thank you, ladies. Happy beading for the rest of the week. Take care of yourselves and take care of your loved ones. Thank you.